Here you will learn about the idea of common good economics developed by Christian Felber. It is a new concept including not only a theoretical approach but a practical movement oriented to changing society from bottom to top. What are the key ideas of this concept? Felber observed that values of the society and of the economy stay in opposition. Values like utility, egoism, competition are considered as positive in economy, whereas in society they are seen as negative. If you speak about the most important values in the society, we will probably refer to quite different values like fairness, responsibility, altruism, being helpful to others, peace, harmony, and good relations with other people. All these values help society to maintain peace and avoid conflicts and develop and furthermore allow for the individuals to live together in society. So, which values shall control our life? Which ones should we choose? Are the social or economic values more important? You have already discussed this question on the meso level, Module 7 and 8, referring to concepts like TBL line, CSR, etc. And while discussing relations between economics and ethics, Module 4, where I have introduced you to economic, integrative, and governance ethics. Felber tries to respond to this question not only theoretically, but introducing a practical change which starts at the meso level and through political participation achieves political acceptance, which may then lead to macro level changes. There are already 2,242 companies, organizations, 71 politicians, and 7,299 individuals that are engaged in the idea of common good economics. Also, the European Economic and Social Committee responded positively to this initiative. Do you remember the issue of embeddedness? That the economic system can't really work without the support of a social system, especially in the long run. But it is also true that the economic system provides important resources for the social system. Which values shall prevail? Without social values, we risk internal conflicts, and on the global level, wars for resources, for dominance, etc. On the other hand, economic values promise us prosperity, even if sometimes at the cost of social peace. So, do we ask the economy to adjust to the values which are fundamental for the integrity of a social system? Or do we ask the society to adjust to strict economic values? Without taking such a decision and embedding it in the legal system or decision processes, these values come into conflict. Efficient decisions, for instance, may lead to mass layoffs, not only now in the time of a corona crisis. Such decisions cause external effects, costs which the company does not bear, causing the reduction of human and social capital. These effects we already discussed in Module 4, referring to approach of human economic ethics. However, for human, a company should be motivated positively or negatively, to reduce it in order to maintain an important ethical collective value. Felber goes further and tries to find the value of both negative and positive impacts on social values in a company by developing a common good matrix. In other words, he tries to create a mechanism to expose what is hidden in the economics, making it be visible. To calculate these hidden values, we have to name these values. Felber suggests sorting out the values implicit in the Constitution, which per definition is embedded in the common values of the society. So we find here another legal framework which represents the interests of the political participator. Felber deduces the following values: human dignity, social justice, environmental transparency, and solidarity. How can you find out if the company is respecting these values in the economic activity? You have to look to see to what extent the company preserves this value towards various stakeholders and how the value manifests itself in such a relation. In other words, what does it mean by saying that human dignity is respected, social justice is promoted, environmental sustainability is ensured, and transparency, solidarity, and democratic values are preserved? The common good balance sheet helps you to systemize this operationalization process. It reflects also the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the Agenda 2030. You have to put horizontally 5 major values: human dignity, cooperation and solidarity, ecological sustainability, social justice, and democratic co-determination and transparency. Vertically, you add all stakeholders: suppliers, investors, employees, customers, social environment. Each box of the matrix indicates how a given value is realized in one particular relationship. For example, how is the company respecting human dignity in reference to employees? Does the company respect International Labour Organization rules about treatment of employees even if they are not respected in that particular country? Does your company respect these rules even in an offshore part of your company? Such a balance sheet may be a good tool for calculating the invisible part of economy. More and more companies are voluntarily measuring the common good value. This provides investors, local governments, and potential employees with additional information, not only economic information, about the social impact of the company. If local governments don't focus only on financial info but also consider social ethical information and make use of it, preferring companies creating common good, and if the access to credit depends also on the social utility of the company, and if eventually the level of taxes depends not only on the outcome but also considers the social external effects of the company visible in the balance sheet, the economic system may be changed also. So, summarizing the ideas of Christian Felber, common good economics perceives the economy as socially and politically embedded. As a consequence, he searches for the methods which allow us to measure the output of the company not only in monetary visible terms, but also by considering the invisible aspects, the inclusion of social values. This can be done by creating common good balance sheet from which we can gather the information about the extent to which the company is realizing these 5 significant values in reference to different stakeholders. This can be an important step towards changing the institutional setting of the company, credit system, etc., which should consider not only the economic but also the social impact of the company. Thank you for your attention.